What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday and Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
And after a week of vacation, we're back, and the content is going to continue like it has been before. On this week, we have about 4 things to talk about. So, real quick note, Plus Club has been delayed because of our vacation. It'll be coming out this Friday, so it's a little late, but it's still coming. So make sure to play the Plus Club games and come back and find out what we had to say about them, and let's hear what you had to say about them. But let's get into the news.
Overwatch, the greatly hyped and very successful first-person shooter from Blizzard Entertainment, has actually had a lot of essentially Rule 34 or porn being made with its characters. Blizzard is actually attempting to stop this from being viewed by sending cease and desist letters to both the websites and creators of the content. Most of this is being made with Source Filmmaker.
Pretty much, it's really interesting because I wasn't really prepared for the influx of Overwatch porn. Apparently, there's a lot of it, and I was watching something that was talking about just like how much there is out there, I guess, and it's just really interesting the way they're going about this because in the end, they're not going to be able to stop it.
No,
it's there. It's going to be put on torrent sites. It's going to fucking keep being uploaded. So if anything, I feel like this is them just trying to send a message.
Yeah.
To everybody to just like, hey, stop because we're gonna maybe come after you, but in the end, they're gonna stop. They're themselves are gonna stop and not gonna be able to keep up with this.
no. I mean, once you put something on the internet, it's there forever.
Yeah.
So I mean, what are you gonna do besides like essentially have your lawyers threaten a few people for a little bit until you're tired of paying them to do it, and then move on to the next thing that's bigger and more important.
Well, and I get why they don't want it up already. Like, I mean, they have a new product. I think they're trying to make it like. It's hard for me to say they want it to be like a family-friendly game where you shoot people, but with the popularity of the game, the hype behind it, I think they just wanted to have a better
Launch period?
I think that they want to be viewed differently than just being like already thrown up as porn or whatever.
Well, sure. I get it. And from an advertising standpoint, the game is brand new. The last thing they probably want to deal with when people are Googling the name of the game is porn results. They probably want to make sure that people are getting the actual product so that they have a better chance to sell it. So
yeah. And speaking of advertising, I mean, like in a weird way, I mean, this is great advertising. Because,
yeah.
I mean, like, porn is everywhere. Everyone views porn.
It's like a third of the internet.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, in a weird way, I mean, like, this could help them sell more. But I think it's just an image thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it comes down to it. But yeah, like, I think we're on the same page when we're saying, like, it's there. It's not going anywhere. I'm just curious on how long they're going to keep doing this.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go on too long, to be honest.
No. All right, on to our second bit of news. The still popular Grand Theft Auto Online is getting a huge update expansion for it called Further Adventures in Finance and Felonies.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. It's kind of a tongue twister. This update is going to include a new car, the Pegassi Reaper. It's going to allow you to be a CEO of your own company and export, import contraband while trying to stay out of sight of the Los Santos Police Department. There's a couple other things they're adding, but essentially they're making a more immersive Scarface-esque experience for the online community. What do you think about the content of this, and what do you think about them still updating? This is their largest update yet, still updating Grand Theft Auto Online.
Well, I'm just going to touch on the last part first, because I think it's wonderful to see a company. I mean, how long has this game been out?
Couple years.
I mean, yeah, that's great support. I mean, in a economy of gaming, you often see 1 year support cycles for games, and it's really awesome to see any company. And I'm not just looking at these guys, but even like CD Projekt Red with The Witcher, supporting the games for a long period of time. It really shows not only dedication to their fan base, but just a passion for their product, which is great.
Yeah, you don't make content like this for a game that you're just ready to pass off and move on to the next project.
Right.
And they definitely are going to be working on their next projects, or already are.
Well, it probably takes a much smaller team to make DLCs anyways.
Definitely.
So,
I'm sure they have a whole team just dedicated to the online. I'm surprised it's still there.
Well, they have to. And one, you got to also take into consideration that Rockstar is the type of company that they make their own engine. They most of their production process is going to be just that alone. I mean, even when they do the advertising, it's all like tech videos and stuff. We've talked about that before. But as far as the content stuff, I'm not a huge Grand Theft Auto fan. I really appreciate it immensely. It's just really I have a hard time sandbox games. I need direction when I play a game, but I do really appreciate it. And I think it's a great game all around. It's kind of losing myself here. Sorry. It's neat to see, though, like I said, the support of it, and I am excited for people who play the game to be able to get such a large thing. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and they originally said they wanted to have some like single player type immersive experiences in the multiplayer, and it's cool to see them deliver that. And also, we covered before the amount of money, which I forgot at this point, but the amount of money that Grand Theft Auto Online alone has made for them outside of the sales of the game itself, and it was a lot. So obviously, it's still popular. It's amazing. People are still playing it. I still see GIFs on Reddit of the game all the time. So it's really cool that they're just, like you said earlier, like with CD Projekt Red, still supporting a game that's obviously still got a lot of love for it.
Well, and I would just love to see more companies, not other companies, but just more companies, add, I don't know how to word this so well, but sim-like experiences into their games as extra content as well, because I think that draws more people in. That makes me interested, and I'm not a fan. So.
Well, I think it adds longevity, too, because if you're playing a multiplayer game where you just shoot each other, it's only fun for so long.
Yeah, you burn out.
But if there's like an end game that you're working towards or trying to build up, I mean, like they also said that all the newest and best content that you can get in the game will be accessed through this.
Okay.
So doing the CO stuff is where you get the best equipment.
I mean, it sounds neat. I mean, I'm half tempted to pick it up. I probably wouldn't buy it on PS4. I'd probably buy it on PC just so I had more functionality to the game, because I think mod support is a really big seller for
I was
that game.
thinking the same thing. I've had the game like twice now, and I've liked it both times, but I just kind of fell out of it, so I got rid of it.
Yeah,
but if I was to pick it up again, I'd probably just get on PC. It'd be locked in on Steam, and whenever stuff like this comes up, I could just re-download it and try it again.
Yeah.
But yeah, let us know in the comments. Are you interested in Grand Theft Auto 5's new chunk of content? Have you played it before? Do you not give a fuck about Grand Theft Auto? Let us know.
So for our third story today, No Man's Sky, game that's been essentially being hyped and advertised for 3 years now, I think.
Yeah, wow.
Officially delayed. We kind of had some hints, but they've pushed it back to August now. And though a lot of people seem to be okay with this, they are also getting a very opposite response from people and getting a lot of death threats, at least so they say. I mean, as someone who's okay with delays and stuff, how does this make you feel that people are reacting this way?
I think it's stupid. I think it's people acting out, essentially. It's probably kids or trolls. Most of the time when people do this kind of thing, especially in gaming, there's no real promise behind it. It's just people so bummed out or so pissed off that something's not going their way that they act radical and say some stupid shit. I feel like the guys making No Man's Sky probably know that as well. So it's dumb. Anyone who does this is a fucking idiot. And we talk about on the show a lot that delays typically don't hurt things. In fact, they normally are always good. There's some examples where they're not good, but if you're waiting for a game to come out after 12 years, that's not a delay anymore.
Right.
That's an evolving game that just can't get made.
That's production hell.
Yeah. Duke Nukem Forever, for instance. But if a game's delayed, I mean, that's a good thing because it shows that they found something that they weren't comfortable releasing the game with, and they wanted to fix it. That's good because otherwise we get games that come out that are fucking unfinished. We're getting first day patches. They're like 7 gigs. That fuck the game up. If they need a couple months to make sure the game's ready to go, that's great because, like we've talked about multiple times, this game's going to make or break this company. They've done like one other game before this, which was like some weird 2D cartoony motorcycle game.
Right.
So like if they fucking nail it, it's going to send them into their next game fucking perfectly. If they don't deliver what they've promised, like Peter Molyneux has multiple times, it's gonna ruin them as a company. They don't have enough prestige behind them to carry on a failed game.
Yeah, and I mean, you've pretty much said everything I feel as well. I think it's still
a little long-winded.
No, so I mean, I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, it sucks that there are people out there who can't grasp the concept that they're going to get a better product out of this.
Yep.
I mean, and I also think it's safe to say, I mean, we're still interested. Still first day buy for both of us, I believe. I was tempted to buy it on PC, but I'm pretty convinced I'm buying this on PS4. So
I think so too. And this hasn't changed my opinion on it in any way. Not positive, not negative. It just, the shit happens, and I'm glad they're going about it this way. And I hope the game is just awesome when it comes out.
Oh yeah.
With the stuff that they're promising, I mean, like, it's a very ambitious project. So the idea of them having to, or the thought of them delaying it for something, I'm sure there's a reason to delay it. There's a lot going on with that game.
No, and especially with how ambitious it is. I want this game to come out and just work. Because everything they've shown, I'm so excited for like this product. I mean, I remember seeing the very first E3 trailer for it, where it shows you going from the planet through the atmosphere into space seamlessly, and I was just like, I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I mean,
Star Wars
cool.
Battlefront 3 was going to try and do that, but not to the same degree.
Yeah,
it doesn't. Games don't have this.
Yeah.
So, really big idea, and obviously with that, some kinks to work out, and I'm glad that they are doing that. A lot of buzz for E3 coming up, namely one of the bigger ones is apparently there is a codenamed Scorpio, the new Xbox One coming out that's supposed to be 4 times more powerful than the original Xbox One. Also with that, there are rumors of a well-known European company, maybe Ubisoft, working on a VR game for the Xbox One. Now, Xbox and Microsoft have not said anything about making a VR peripheral yet. But this is kind of leaning towards that they are.
Oh, yeah.
We've speculated already that they have to make one to stay in the race with everybody else.
You have to be relevant.
So it's not a huge surprise, but it is really interesting to hear this news so on the side of like, oh, hey, a company's working on a VR game for them. So probably they have a VR thing they're coming out with. What do you think about a 4 times more powerful Xbox One coming out, and what do you think about the inevitable VR coming out for Xbox One?
I mean, obviously VR is just exciting in general. I mean, it is definitely the thing of this year. I mean, we're seeing it on PC, PlayStation 4, very likely Xbox One. We've kind of chit-chatted about it before. I do believe that the 4 times more powerful system has a lot to do with the fact that the console runs a version of Windows, and that VR systems like the HTC and the Oculus versions,
The Vive you're talking about?
yeah, they take a lot of system resources to run, and I think that is a huge reason on why they're making this push. I also think they're going to go for an in the box version to combat Sony's out of the box version of the VR. So
yeah, and we had talked about this before. We talk about this a lot, VR in general. But it would be really interesting to see them release a VR for a more powerful console, which makes sense. But also have it work on PC as well, much like how they do with the Xbox One controllers and the Xbox 360 controllers. But they have to do the VR. They have to, because everybody else is doing it. And it makes sense they're doing the more powerful Xbox One. I mean, 4 times is a fucking insane jump, and I'm actually kind of excited for that, even though I would hope they'll find a way to support this, because they haven't been doing a good job with the Xbox One. But like you're saying, because of the specs and how much it takes to run something like that, I mean, they kind of have to. And Phil Spencer said before this even has been, rumored that if they were to do a new Xbox One, it'd have to be a huge jump. So it kind of lines up with what he said.
Well, I think this also is going to, if I'm going to speculate, also have 4K capability, because they have to compete.
It would have to.
Their only major competitor is Sony. I hate to say that, sorry Nintendo.
Yeah.
But I mean, Sony's is pretty much guaranteed to be a 4K system. So this has to be that.
Yeah. I mean, Sony's kind of just trucking along. They're really successful in their console. I think they just hit 40 million sales.
Actually, I might have this wrong. Feel free to correct me down below. But I think in the last quarter, the amount of PlayStation sales was more than the Xbox One's total sales.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Because that'd be crazy.
I mean, like I said, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I read that.
Because I think Xbox is still in the 20s.
Yeah, and I think Sony is in the 60,000 or million, sorry.
No, I think they just surpassed 40 million.
Did they?
Yeah.
I might be wrong then.
Yeah. Because I just read that like a day or two ago that they just hit 40 million.
I don't know.
Units
It's
sold.
crazy. I know their projection for next year is 20 million, I think. And I think a lot of that has to do with the PS4K.
Probably.
So,
But with that, in the sales that they have, and then them moving forward with the 4K and the VR, Xbox will have to do the same.
no, and I'm super excited to see E3. Even Xbox's conference, I want to see them make. I think this is a really good opportunity for them to make that push to show everyone they're not out of the game, that they're still here.
Mm-hmm.
Show some superior, not superior, but just solid hardware and advancement in the console. But with that, show some first party VR games. I mean, I think that would help
Definitely.
you guys sell your system a lot. So
And yeah, they'll have to. Not like little gimmicky games like some Fable game or whatever, like some actual
full fledged, yeah.
VR games. How crazy would it be though if they release this console and it's like 4 times more powerful than the Xbox One and it's more powerful than the PS4?
That'd be crazy.
I mean, that's a huge leap.
But you'd run into the same problem potentially that people were worried about with the PS4K, which is, are they going to leave the old games in the dust? Hopefully not, obviously.
They better not.
But that was a huge worry, and Sony kind of squashed that one on their end. So
Yeah.
hopefully Microsoft doesn't make that mistake.
Yeah, I would really be disappointed if they did a total reset.
Yeah.
And just pretty much release just a new console. But with their support of backwards compatibility, though, I don't see that happening because
I don't either.
the infrastructure for Xbox One and its backwards compatibility is neat. I mean, they just released Black Ops backwards compatibility on Xbox One, which is huge for me.
No, that's cool. And I love that they're doing that, though. As we've said a million times, I also want to see new games. I mean, I want a personal reason to own one.
Yeah.
Quantum Break is cool. Halo 5 is cool. But, 2 games doesn't sell a system for
No.
me.
I did just because
I'm
I could.
also a single-player game RPG guy. Like, give me, as I know I'm a minority in that
Definitely.
regard. But that's still something you can't ignore.
Yeah.
You want to try to have everyone involved. I mean, I have a buddy who works in sales, and he said a lot of his money comes from all the small purchases. Cover all those niche things. Get those people invested in your system. Make them excited for your product. I would love, this sounds terrible, I'd love to give you my money. Give me a reason. So,
Well, and you need entry level or intro games for people who do want those niche games. So a person who doesn't want to buy Halo 5 or Xbox One is not going to do it. But someone who wants an RPG for Xbox One is more likely and now has access to buy those other games.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's no reason for them to buy it in the first place.
Exactly.
So, not to try and rant about Xbox One, we do it enough.
this is a solid console. Like, it just needs games. That's it.
Yeah. But overall, I'm really excited to see where this goes. I want to see if this is true. I'm pretty sure it is. And hopefully we hear more about it at E3.
Also, E3, June.
Yeah, coming up soon.
Real soon.
We'll be doing some stuff on that soon. Probably some preemptive predictions or something like that. So
Yeah, definitely an exciting time of the year.
definitely. That's the mecca for gaming. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
like, that's where all the big announcements normally come from, aside from a couple small ones. But yeah, let us know in the comments below. Are you excited for a new Xbox One that's 4 times as powerful as the original Xbox One? And are you surprised to see the VR's coming to Xbox One? Let us know. I think it's going to do it for this episode of Taste Tuesday on Taste Loot Gaming. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe if you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to check out our other episodes. Make sure to check us out on Tumblr and Twitter, Taste Loot Gaming. Check us out on Twitch, Sleep Division. And yeah, another reminder again, Plus Club is coming this Friday, so make sure to come back for that. But until then, my name's Seth,
I'm Chevy.
and we'll see you later, guys. Take it easy.